The fast-moving consumer goods sector is a multi-million-dollar sector, and if you want to get a slice of this cake, make sure you stick around and watch this video to the end, because I'm going to be sharing why it is a powerful business and the do's and don'ts, so you don't just launch your own FMCG business, you launch and run a successful business. So the FMCG business is a very vast business, and it involves different category of people along the supply chains. In fact, some of us are already into the business and we don't even know what it is, or we don't even know how to scale in the business. In this video, I'm going to be explaining further, what you need to do so you succeed and what you avoid so you don't fail. I'm also discuss why it is a powerful business, what you need to understand before you launch your own business. However, to get better insight on what I will be discussing today, I would need you to go and watch my previous video, what is FMCG, to get better knowledge so you can easily flow with everything I'm going to be sharing with you today. And if you haven't, ensure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure you follow me on all social media platforms to stay updated, so you know what to do and what not to do, and how to start and be successful at your own business. Moving on, what I usually tell people is, for any business you choose to venture into, you have to have a ground understanding of that business. Like I said earlier, many of us are into the FMCG business, but we don't even understand that we are into the business, and we don't even know how to scale up in the business. We don't even know how to make real money in the business. I've been in this sector for roughly 10 years now, and I've made a decent amount of money from it over the years, and I've gained a lot of experience, that which I will be sharing with you today. Now, before you even start any business, you first of all ask yourself, why am I doing this business? Is this business worth it? Why this business? Why this sector? So I'm going to start with, why is FMCG a powerful business? So there are various reasons why the FMCG business is a powerful business, but I'm going to be discussing a few of them with you today. Firstly, the FMCG business is a powerful business because every household uses FMCG daily. What do I mean by this? If you look around you currently, you'd find something that belongs to this sector in your household, from your toiletries to your washing detergent, to your charger, your data, your airtime, even salt, say bread, sardines, milk. All of this belong to the FMCG sector. All of this are not just in use, in our households, but it is in constant demand. What I mean constant demand? The demand for this is up the roof. People use this daily. That's to tell you how you can make so much money in this business if you know what you're doing, because people use these items daily. In fact, people can't survive without it. And that is to tell you that you're not just venturing into a business that you're not sure of, but you're going into something that you already see how much sales you can make if you're strategic and you understand the tricks and turns of the business. Now, another reason why the FMCG business is a powerful business is the fact that you can easily start small and grow big within a very short period of time. So you don't need so much money to start in this business. You don't need to have millions. You don't need to have billions in your account to start this business. You just need to be strategic in starting the business. Like I always say, the more knowledge you have, the more skills you have, and the more network you have in this business, the better your chance at succeeding in this business. So another reason why this is a very powerful business is the fact that you get fast return on investment due to rapid stock management. Now, due to you positioning yourself either as the supplier or the distributor, you have positioned yourself where you can push out large quantity of product to the retailers, and because you're selling to retailers, they come back to buy in bulk as quick as possible because they sell to a larger crowd. Now, you're not selling to one retailer. Remember, you're selling to various retailers, especially if you keep customers well, they come and they buy in bulk. So that turnover weekly is, you get quick return on investment. So you have to be strategic in doing this business, like I always say. Now, another reason why this is a powerful business is the fact that in a country like Nigeria, India, or probably China, you already have large population, and large population equals large needs, and large needs equals more sales, and more sales equals return on investment, which in return would give you profit. Unlike some other business that you would start doing a research on who are your customers, and all of that, you're in a sector where every human is in need of your product. Every age is in need of your product. Man must eat, man must wear clothes, man must live in a house, shelter and all of that. So there is a constant need for your product, and if you have that population, you're good to go. Just get a portion of them to buy your product and you are fine, you're making money. So this is a powerful business, not just because it's a sector that you make money from, but it's a sector that is always riding on the back of inflation. So inflation has nothing to do with it. You always make sales, just be strategic about it. Now that I've shared with you why it is a powerful business, if you've been paying attention, by now you'd have a healthy understanding of what the fast-moving consumer goods sector is, and if it's a business that you want to venture into. Moving forward, we'll be talking about the do's and the don'ts of the FMCG. That is what you need to do to succeed and what you must not do, so you don't fail even before you start. So moving on, in my previous video, I mentioned that you should take a pen and paper and write 3 products that you think will sell fast in your area. Now, one of the things that you must do in this business, it's a must, is firstly, you need to do a local market research before you start that business. What am I trying to say? Study your local market deeply. You have to understand the business that you want to venture into even before you start, because if you don't, there is a very high possibility of you failing even before starting. Another thing you should bear in mind when starting this business is you have to offer only fast selling in-demand items. What do I mean by fast in-demand products? Let's say your spice. For everything you prepare as of today, you need spice. From your curry spice to thyme to salt to paprika to pepper, you need all of this to make your food tasty. So automatically you already have large customers waiting to buy these products, so you don't even need to look for customers already. These products are fast and selling and they are in demand. You get large requests for them. So these are the kind of products I would want you to venture into. Spices. You can also think of something else that you think would sell fast in your area. That's fine too. Another do's of the FMCG business, this is very important, is you have to keep solid records of your sales, stock and cash flow. Now, some people don't understand that this is very vital to you succeeding in this business, because how you keep your records, how you keep your sales, how you keep your cash flow and all of that is very, very paramount to what will become of your profits at the end of the day. Some people are very careless with this. When they make sales today, they take the money and invest in buying food stuff for the house or doing something else. But you have to be very intentional when you're making sales daily. Remember, these are daily sales. So, and if you're not careful, you take the money and you spend them on things that will not bring back profits for the business. So you have to be very careful. Now, there's several ways that you can take records of your stock and sales. You can do that by simply setting up an Excel tracking system where you can monitor your inflow and outflow daily, or you can directly contact me and I can set up a simple tracking system that would help you monitor your inflow and outflow, so you ensure that you're making sales. You're not just selling daily, but you're making good sales and good profits at the end of the day. Another very important do's of the FMCG business is you have to reward bulk and loyal customers. Now, this is very, very important, and people tend to overlook it, but if you do so, you are not just keeping these customers to your corner, like you're not just making them loyal, you're also creating a referral system, because how you treat them, that same way they would go out and tell their friends that I'm buying from this person and this person is the best person you buy from. So you're creating a referral system indirectly. Another way that you can reward them is to give them access to your goods, maybe a buy and pay later system, or you can easily buy them gifts during Xmas season, or maybe the Easter season, or maybe one of the Muslim celebrations. Yeah, so you can easily buy them gifts, brand the gifts, just show appreciation, show them that, oh, I appreciate you for preferring me to my competitors. And lastly, I would need you to restock frequently and build suppliers' trust. This is one of the things that you must do, to be successful in this business. Let me explain how. Restocking frequently will enable your customers trust in you and always come back to you, because remember, you're selling to retailers and not to consumers. And because you're selling to retailers, you're selling to multiple retailers, and they would always come back for more because they're buying in bulk and they're selling to different range of customers. So to meet their customers' need, they will always need a particular product of yours that you have to always have, because the moment you don't have it, your competitor is out there waiting to take over that space. So you always need to have it in your space. And building suppliers' trust will enable you have this product as frequent as possible. So networking is part of the FMCG business strongly. Now that you already know some of the deals, if you want to start the FMCG business, I believe you already have a picture of what you need to put in place before you start the business. And if you're running a business now, you already know what you need to do next, to scale up and be successful in the business. Now let's move over to the things that you don't do so you don't fail in this business. Firstly, do not overstock slow moving goods. Now, as a supplier or a distributor, you have a range of different products. Some are extremely fast and some are slow. Now, because you're selling to retailers, they might also want some of these products that are quite slow. You don't overstock them. The reason you're buying them is to satisfy some of your customers, but do not overstock them. You can buy them, yes, because you want to have them in your shop when they come to ask of it, but don't overstock it. Instead, stock up the fast moving products. This you don't do, so you don't tie up funds and you don't end up incurring losses. Secondly, you don't delay deliveries. This is another thing you don't do in the FMCG sector. Delaying deliveries will cost you customers and will incur you losses over time, because the longer you delay deliveries, the more your customers will start looking at your competitors. And if your competitors enter the space and deliver fast and do a better job, they are gone. So you have to always have your goods right on time. That is where handling logistics come in. You don't have to be the one that owns this logistics process or on a bus and all of that, but you need to build trust with your logistics partner so they always deliver on time, because your retailers have targets to meet, so they have customers to satisfy too. So it is better to have a strong logistics chain when you are doing this business. Now, because you're in the fast moving consumer goods sector, you need to avoid bad packaging or expired items. Remember, you're selling things that people consume daily or make use of daily. If it's expired, it's bad. If it's bad packaging, it's bad. So you need to always have that interaction with your manufacturer or with your supplier, so you don't carry bad packaging or bad products to your customers. And one other way to avoid expired product is you have to always check the carton. You have to always check the expiring date of whatever you're buying. If you know that you're buying this and it will stay with you for a couple of months, make sure the expiring date is very far apart from when you're making that purchase. Remember, off-the-counter product is also in the FMCG space. What I mean by off-the-counter product, your medicine. So you have to be very intentional when you're buying things like medicine, because you're selling that to the public. That's also something you don't do in the FMCG sector. Another don't in the FMCG sector is don't copy others without studying your markets. Now, you might say, this, my friend, is into this business and wow, she's making a lot of sales. I'm going to do that business. If you go into that business without studying the market around you, you're going to fail. What works on the mainland might not work on the island. What works in Nigeria might not work in China. So you have to be very, very careful and do a lot of studying before you venture into that business. Do not go into the business because somebody that is close to you or somebody you know is already making sales in that business. Maybe that person is making sales in that business because there is a demand of that particular product in that particular area. So make sure you do your market study before you venture into the business. This is very important. And lastly, never ignore negative feedbacks. Now, when doing this business, you get both positive and negative feedbacks, but you need negative feedbacks as much as the positive, because one thing this will do is to help you sit up and make corrections where you're making mistakes. You can also take this negative feedbacks to the manufacturer or your supplier, so they can also make correction, and this will in return ensure that the customer gets the best of the product, so you don't get to lose them at the end of the day. So like I always say, this is a sector that millionaires and billionaires play in, and if you understand where to position yourself, you will make a lot of money in this business. I've been in this business for the past 10 years and I have made good money from it. So if you need me to hold your hand and take you through the process, you can always come to my DM, and I am just a phone call away. So in my next video, I am going to be sharing with you my 10-year journey in the FMCG sector, and my 3 secrets to success. So make sure you turn on your notification button. I'll see you in my next video.